Now from Atlanta News First Plus, this is Sports Tonight.
Happy final day of February, everybody.
I know. We're about to get into March. That's insane. March Madness.
It's come along fast. March Madness, let me tell you, and I will say this about March Madness.
Okay.
I haven't really watched a lick of college basketball the entire season, which probably means if I was...
That's not true. You've watched some Tech.
That's true. Okay, so outside of Georgia Tech, right?
I want to give you some credit there.
Outside of Georgia Tech and UGA, as far as around the country, as far as who Gonzaga, teams like that, or North Carolina, I have not watched much college basketball.
Okay.
But that's okay, because it's normally people like me who don't watch much college basketball who normally wins those NCAA tournament pools. So I'm good with that.
Do you usually have you won one before?
Quick story. So I was working in Cleveland, and this had to
Okay.
be like 2013, right?
Okay.
It was, yeah, as a matter of fact, it was 2013. I picked Michigan to win the whole thing. I was like the only person at the station at the time that picked Michigan to win the whole thing. Michigan was like the number 4 seed. They went on a run. I mean, they went ahead, got to the championship game, led in that championship game. They led Louisville by like 15 points in the first half. Of course, going into that game, everyone had Louisville to win, so I was the only one. I was going to get the pot if Michigan won. And they led by like 15 in the first half, and of course they blew it, and I lost.
We should make a bet. Me and you will each do a March Madness bracket.
Okay.
And whoever gets the most right is the winner, and the loser has to sing on Sports Tonight.
Ooh. What kind of song, though?
Whoever wins gets to choose the song.
If I get to choose
That it
the
has
song,
to be
it's all
appropriate.
good.
It has to be appropriate.
Well, of course, right. I mean, I'm not going to come on here and
Not gonna be getting wild.
don't sing no
But-
future or nothing. Yeah.
But
Okay.
Ellie says please no, but I think it would be great TV.
All right, we'll further discuss that. Some stipulations involving that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So look, our guy Brock. Well, not just Brock Bowers, but the NFL Scouting Combine this week is in full swing. Obviously, a bunch of UGA players there. I believe it's like 11 when I was counting. So obviously,
One from Georgia State, so
yeah. So. And obviously, Brock Bowers is kind of the main attraction because he's probably going to be the first one who flies off the draft board of the guys at UGA, most likely. So I think with him, it's pretty much all about how that medical checks out, right?
yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously everyone wants to make sure his ankle's okay, but tightrope ankle surgery is pretty generic these days, so I think he's going to be fine. I just think he tried to rush back too soon for the SEC championship, and that was kind of why everyone was like, oh, is it a problem? Is it not? But, he said he had a few sessions with teams. Let's see if I can remember some of them. The Bengals, the Colts, the Bears, the Titans, and the Chargers were among those groups.
Chargers would be nice
With Herbert?
with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, and Brock even talked about maybe landing in Nashville with the Titans because it just feels familiar because of his time at Georgia. So that would be really cool. I personally would love to see him with the Bengals. I think
Joe Burrow. I
when
wouldn't.
you have
I don't want to see that.
Joe Burrow, no one wants to see that if you're in the league. But him with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins if he stays and Joe Mixon. I mean, that's nasty. That's a nasty lineup.
See, this is how teams get really good because they have like one fluke bad year because the quarterback goes down. Now you get a guy like Brock Bowers, and now you're taking over everything. So, no, we don't want that, all right? So Brock Bowers is a guy of very few words, which is why it's really good to hear from him when we can, right?
Yes.
So he was up on the podium today at the Combine. Let's hear from Brock, who is a man of few words, speak, I guess, a little more than a few words today. Check it out.
How do you feel like you could fit in that offense?
I have not yet. I haven't watched much tape on the Raiders yet, so. Yeah.
Are you going to be working out tomorrow?
We'll see. I mean, if not tomorrow, definitely pro day.
What did you measure in at height and weight officially?
We haven't measured in yet. I think it's tomorrow. Sorry, repeat. What's the question? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool that they're letting everyone in the game, and just being in the game is pretty sweet.
Brock, is this a good time to be a tight end, like a move tight end, the way the NFL is sort of trending that way, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, tight end's a prime position right now to be, and I'm just glad it's now.
How do you look at your game? What do you bring to a team in the pass game?
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good yards after catch, and just be able to make people miss and, I mean, just turn good plays into great plays.
How does sports psychologist help you get through the injury?
Yeah, I mean, they just kind of talked to me, said I mean, just helped me through some things because injuries are always tough, and I mean, I just wanted to come back and play, so just kind of work through it.
Brock, who have you met with so
far? I don't know. It's hard to remember all the teams. About 15 teams. So.
Brock is one of those 15 teams, the Colts?
Yeah, it was.
Brock, what can you say about Brian McClendon and the job that he's going to do in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll do great. He was awesome at Georgia. I mean, I loved having him around, and he helped out a lot. So.
Brock, what do you think of the rookie season that Sam Laporta had, and how does that give you confidence or thoughts about what maybe you can do as a rookie tight end?
Yeah, we watched a bunch of film of him at Georgia, kind of film study and see what he does good, and yeah, I mean, it was awesome to watch a rookie tight end come in there and ball out.
What does he do well that you add to your game or try to emulate?
He does a lot of the little things well. I mean, route running wise, he just gets open. I mean, that's what you got to do.
Are you a Gronkowski guy, Kelsey guy, or Kittle guy?
I mean, I grew up watching Gronk. I love watching Gronk, and I mean, he's kind of like a huge role model, I guess, for me. Just looking at him when I was growing up, and then also love watching Kittle and Kelsey.
Have you had a chance to talk to Rob at all?
A little bit at Super Bowl.
Brock, is it important for you to be a top 10 pick?
I mean, not really just a pick. I mean, I just want to go to a place I'm wanted and be able to be used, and yeah, just hopefully have a good rookie season.
Brock, you're being talked about as sort of a can't-miss prospect. What area of your game would you say that you need to improve upon? And have you met with the Bengals yet?
Yeah, I've met with the Bengals, and I think one of the things I can improve upon is kind of secondary reaction when I'm blocking, like getting engaged with somebody and they spin or something, and just being able to reset and re-engage.
And how do you think your game will translate to the Bengals offense?
I mean, hopefully well. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You played against Anthony Richardson in college. What do you remember seeing from him on the field in that game, and what have you seen from him in the next level that may be intriguing to play with him?
Yeah, I mean, I just remember him being just a freak athlete, big dude, fast, and I mean, he was tough to bring down for our defense over there, and I mean, he's a baller. So yeah, it's exciting.
Are the Patriots one of the teams that you met?
No, I haven't met with them.
Have
Yeah,
you spoken to the Buccaneers at all yet?
I have not. No. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it was an injury that happened this year, so they're obviously asking about it and everything. But yeah, it's 100%.
Brock, I don't know how closely you look at NFL rosters right now because I know you're going through this process and just trying to get drafted. But the Bears might have a tight end opening alongside of Cole Kmet. What have you thought about Cole Kmet and the Bears situation, and did you meet with them as well?
Yeah, I met with the Bears, and I mean, love watching Cole Kmet. I mean, he does a great job in all aspects of the game, being tight end. So yeah, it'd be exciting.
Brock, to that point, Luke Getsy is in Las Vegas now, and he was really instrumental in helping Cole Kmet. How do you feel like he could help your development as well?
Yeah, I think just all those guys in the next level will bring something different, and just be able to develop my game in new ways, and hopefully translate me and get me integrated into the next level. I mean, that's tough to say. I like catching the ball, like just in the flat and stuff, and making things happen. I mean, that's fun to me.
Potentially fit in with the Sean Payton offense if that transpired.
Yeah, I met with the Broncos, and I thought it went well and everything, and yeah, I mean, I'd be excited anywhere that wants to pick me.
Brock, you said at the Super Bowl you'd like to maybe stay in the South, a place like Tennessee, a place like Atlanta. What was it about the South that you liked kind of playing there?
I don't know. It was just kind of fun. I just like being out there, and yeah, it was good.
Any of those teams yet? You tried to expand on that with them?
Yeah, I met with a couple of those teams down there, and yeah, it was good.
Brock, when you met with the Bears, they've been doing a little competition drill. Did you choose darts or putting?
Oh, I didn't get to do that. No, I wish.
Brock, when you've talked to teams or when you hear people, do you think that your blocking is what they're most concerned with? They know you can catch and run. Are more teams concerned or interested in how you're going to develop as a blocker or not a complete tight end?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I put some good things on film, blocking wise too. So, I mean, yeah, they can obviously help me a lot with technique, and we'll just see how it translates to the next level.
Brock, when teams have been going over film in their meetings, is there any part of your game that they've been looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I'd just say well, one of the things, for example, is like secondary reaction, like I mentioned earlier, like when I get engaged and defensive end spins or something, and be able to re-engage and just sustain the block.
Brock, what do you think is your best trait as a tight end?
I'd say just run after the catch. I think I do a pretty good job at that, and I mean, it's just a good part of my game.
Can you speak to how much Georgia really helped you as a prospect and were able to build over your career there?
Yeah, Georgia helped me, I mean, a ton. I mean, obviously, we were going against first-round dudes in defense every single day in practice, so that, like, just that kind of development, going against that kind of competition every day really kind of improved my game and helped me out.
Brock, do you prefer to play in the slot or as an end line tight end?
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. Wherever I'm needed, wherever I need to go.
You're obviously physically gifted. How important is it to you to do the little stuff behind the scenes, film study, extra reps after practice, things like that?
Yeah, I think that's just super important for anyone's game. I mean, just be able to get in the film room and watch your opponent, see what they do, see their tendencies, and I mean, just know what they're going to do before they're going to do it.
Generally, the tight end is the quarterback's best friend, right? The safety blanket. How important is it to you to build that rapport with your quarterback and become that guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's you have to have a good relationship with the quarterback, build trust, and that kind of comes through reps and practice and everything. So, yeah, I'll be trying to work on that first place I go. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow.
Is it a health issue or is it just a
No, just kind of just personal decision. Good.
Good. So at the Senior Bowl, you mentioned wanting to play with the Titans or considering into the Titans. One, what brought that? Have you met with them? And so what was that like?
Yeah, I met with the Titans, and it went good. I thought. I mean, it's a lot of moving around and a lot of seem like repetitive stuff. So I mean, just answering those core questions and watching film and kind of just let them know about my football knowledge.
Hey, what made you interested in them? You said it earlier. What made you interested in them?
I mean, I just kind of mentioned it like as a cool place to live, like Nashville, Tennessee would be cool. Yeah. What? You said, what's the question? Sorry. Oh, that was sweet. I mean, I grew up watching him, and him and Brady just dominate defenses. So I mean, it was really cool being able to meet him and everything like that.
Brock, you've poked fun at yourself with your public speaking. How tough a part of the combine is this for you, and how glad will you be to get to the drill work and the football again?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite thing, but I mean, it's part of it. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I've gotten better at it since I started back my freshman year at Georgia. So
what was the hardest part of getting used to all the attention and all the cameras and the microphones at Georgia?
I don't know. I just kind of got used to it, I guess. Yeah.
What was the medical aspect of this week like for you to make sure the ankle's where it needs to be?
Yeah, I mean, just did a bunch of X-rays, MRIs, stuff like that, and then obviously going to have a physical and everything later today, I think, and yeah, just making sure it's all good.
Brock, some of the mock drafts have you moved the Jets at tight. What would it be like to play with Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, it'd be pretty sweet. I mean, he's one of the best of all time dude at quarterback, and it'd be cool to learn under him and just play with him and hopefully learn some stuff.
Brock, playing at Georgia, how big was getting in those big games for you?
Sorry, what?
Like the big game experience, how important was that for you in developing as a player?
Yeah, I mean, I love playing in the big games. It's, I mean, biggest stage. It's always fun. It always makes it more fun, more competitive. So I always love going out there and playing.
What's been the most fun of the whole NFL draft evaluation process since you left Georgia? What's been the most fun thing you've done or gotten to enjoy?
I'd say being here. I mean, it's just kind of you kind of think about it when you're growing up. You watch it on TV, and it's just kind of cool being here and just kind of. I mean, just being here is cool. I don't know.
Any flashbacks to the national title game? What do you remember when you saw that building?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was the first thing I thought of when I walked in the doors again into Lucas Oil. I mean, it was really cool. It looks a lot bigger from the stands than on the field. So.
Brock answers those questions quick, boy. Man, he tries to get out of there.
Man, a few words, that's for sure.
Not a big time media guy. Nice dude though. I mean, I've talked to him on the side before. I mean, just like at
very nice, great football player.
Yeah.
Very Nick Chubb-esque.
Yeah. That's a really good comparison. He's the tight end Nick Chubb. Both went to UGA, so it's all good. Let's talk some spring training, right, Braves?
Let's do it. We're in the thick of it now, a few games in. Everyone's trying to see what's going to happen in that 5th rotation spot. Chris Sale, he had a really good outing. I believe it was yesterday, really showing that he's healthy and he can maybe be that guy. And then you had Spencer Strider today show off his new curveball and get a strikeout with it. So things are looking good for it being early spring training.
New curveball. It's all good, though. Hey, look, I know one of the things that I'll give an early prediction about Braves, too. I believe Michael Harris is going to be an MVP candidate.
I don't.
I'm going there.
It's bold, but I like it.
I'm going there.
Bold, but I like it. Okay. What pitcher do you think is going to have the best year?
I'm going to say Max Fried.
I like that pick. Should we hear from him and some of the things he had to talk about from spring training,
And
Scott?
I think he thinks that he's going to be the best pitcher this year, too. Check it out.
Staying healthy is the first thing. Always been told the best ability is availability. So just being able to make my starts every 5th day and being able to take the ball for, 33 times, that's the goal.
Anthopoulos said yesterday you kind of naturally brung up free agency on your own at Braves Fest. Is it something that's kind of in the back of your mind at this point?
I was asked about it, so I answered the questions that I did back then, and still feel the same way. I love being here, but at this point right now, I'm really just focusing on getting ready for the season.
Do you try new things at spring training? Is this a time to try a new pitch or to tweak something, or you just kind of need to get what you do where it needs to be?
Yeah, I think right now it's just about getting ready for the season, getting a really good foundation and base, and it's a long year. Got a lot of pitches, got a lot of different things going right now that I've developed over the years, so it's mostly about sharpening those and just getting ready.
I remember you saying something about you felt kind of the healthiest that you felt in a long time. So how's this spring kind of made you feel different compared to past years for you physically?
Still holds true. I feel great, just health-wise and everything. So maintaining weight really well, and that's really big for me, especially going throughout the season. You tend to lose some weight, so being able to kind of being more stable on that, just feel strong and just being able to weather the season, because it is a long one and it breaks you down. So to be able to have a good starting point, it's really important.
When you say you're trying to keep weight on, is it something that, are you having more protein shakes? Like what kind of adjustments have you had to make to keep that on?
I'd say just more diet, just being more conscious of your diet, being able to, not have a lot of fried fast food, stuff like that, eating a little bit cleaner and just being more conscious of that.
Can you speak to the depth of your group? The pitching staff is deep, a lot of guys who can get it done. Just speak to the rotation you guys have and how cool it is to have you look over so many guys who can get it done.
I feel like every year we get a little bit deeper, just whether it's lineup-wise or pitching, and I feel like we don't really have holes this year. We've got 5+ stars. We got more that are extremely talented, and that we're gonna need throughout the year. The bullpen is obviously extremely talented. I'm really excited to kind of see what they end up doing, and then obviously our offense is, they were the best in baseball last year, and we still have a lot of the same guys, and even added a couple. So, we've got a really, really talented and great team, and now it's just going out there and showing it on the field.
The idea of a healthy Chris Sale, how exciting is that to add to this rotation?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, he's been, when he's healthy, he's one of the best pitchers in the game. So to be able to add him and bring in a winning mindset and just kind of not messing around, like we're going to get after it, and there's an intensity there that you can really feel, and you can feel his presence. So to be able to have someone to be able to come in and as accomplished and as successful as he's been, we're really, really happy to have him here.
What would define a successful 2024 for you?
I've heard it the last couple of days, and it's same true for me. We're here to go out there and get to the World Series and win it. That's we had a really good year last year, and we've made additions to get better, and I think just shows that everyone from player-wise to front office, that we feel like we want to get better and can get better. And I think the only way to get better from what we did last year was to actually go and get farther in the playoffs and win it. So I know we have a lot of really determined guys here that are ready to get going and really goal-oriented.
You're sandwiched between Morton and Sale, so there's plenty of advice that can be given to you. But how much, now you're a veteran, how much advice do you give to the guys down the other end of the locker room?
I feel like I'm kind of in this like middle where I'm still obviously learning and still feel like the same guy that got called up when 2017, but definitely have a little bit more experience under my belt. So taking in as much as I can from obviously the veterans around me, but if young guys come up and have questions, and I'm more than willing to be able to kind of share what I've learned so far, knowing that you're in this game, you can never take a day off, and you always have to be really aware of what's happened, what's coming up, and always be learning. So yeah, just trying to help everyone out because everyone's got their own journey. But I'm really excited. We've got a lot of really talented young guys that I can't wait to see go out there and succeed.
What are the conversations like in between those two?
Right now, it's just mostly family, how everyone did in their off seasons, how's the holidays were. They're both really great dads, so to be able to just get to know them more on personal level, and then being able to do more, I would say, get into the weeds of baseball stuff. We got enough time for that.
What's the best piece of advice that you've received from Charlie, and how just crucial has he been to have him here and the advice that he gives?
Charlie he allows you to be your authentic and genuine self, and is very accepting of that. So I think just being able to allow everyone to have their own personalities flourish, and he really helps bring that out in you, just because he's always very supportive and he's always himself. So it's important, especially coming into this, knowing who you are and being comfortable with who you are. It helps you perform out on the field.
Max, injuries can be tough. As you went through the process last year, was there anything you learned about yourself mentally that can help you as you get ready for this season to kind of fight through those tough times?
I don't know if it was anything that I've really learned about myself. I learned that I don't like sitting on the sidelines and watching, and just being able to really stay on top of the little things that might be a little bit mundane, but are going to allow me to be out there every single day. So just kind of what I alluded to, where it was, food, nutrition, just, getting your body ready, just little things like that you just have to take into account.
All right, Bailey, ready to talk some hoops?
Let's do it.
More specifically, women's college hoops. So Iowa star, all-world guard Caitlin Clark took to social media today to announce that she's entering the 2024 WNBA draft, which is, I guess it's kind of interesting a little bit, right?
I don't know. I feel like she was always going. To announce now, though, kind of before season wraps and you get into the tournaments and whatnot, I guess I get it. But the way she has put women's basketball on the map, people are tuning into their games. I can't remember if it was their last game, like against Minnesota or something.
Yeah.
But ticket prices were up to $462.
Whoa.
For a women's basketball game.
That's steep.
That's amazing.
People want to see her play.
I wouldn't pay it, but
No.
It's amazing that people want to see her and want to see her in action. It's definitely a story that kind of transcends just basketball in general, and I think it's really cool to see her keep continuing to break records and put basketball on the map. But it also probably looks like she's headed to Indiana now that we know that she's going in the draft.
Well, I guess the interesting part to me is, I guess in these days and for where the WNBA is at right now, I just wondered, would she benefit more by staying in school another year than she would by entering the WNBA draft? Because we know how the WNBA salaries are. We know how NIL is. I mean, she might make more from NIL than she might make at the WNBA level.
Very, very fair. I also think, though, there might be people have to remember the NIL and sponsorships and whatnot are very different for female athletes. I'm not saying she's still not going to get a hefty check, because she will, because she's Caitlin Clark.
Right.
But there might be a lot more avenues to take on full time as being a professional athlete, in a sense of you don't have to worry about schoolwork or, be academically sound and go to classes, where you can just play ball, do sponsorships, and maybe do appearances and stuff. So I don't know. You never really know why or the decisions other people make it, but I think the way she's been able to put women's basketball on the map is astounding.
They said she made about $910,000 in NIL this past year. So I mean, maybe she makes that at the WNBA level with endorsements too. So
Correct.
she'll be able to get some endorsements.
Correct.
So I'm sure many great women's players over the years have gotten a lot of endorsements, like Sue Bird and people like that. So who's Candace Parker? I'm sure she's done very well for herself. So
Skylar Diggs.
Skylar Diggs. And I remember when she signed with Rock Nation coming out of school. So I mean, Caitlin Clark, the future is bright. So hopefully, what I hope it does for the WNBA is to push a lot of eyes on the WNBA, especially when Angel Reese gets there too. And I hope they sort of get that rivalry going again and get more eyes on the WNBA. Look, I've been watching WNBA games since the season it started. I remember back when I was in college. So I hope it ends up being a plus for them.
Right.
So our guy Trae Young though, now to the NBA game. Trae Young's gonna be down for a little while, right?
Yes, he had surgery on his fifth finger of his left hand. It went successfully. He hurt that in the Friday night Raptors game. You could see it, and then he missed the next game. The 2 games without him, they have won. They beat Orlando, and then they beat the Jazz at home, which was a big game because that was Quinn Snyder's first game against the Jazz since joining the Hawks. It was also John Collins' return game back to Atlanta and State Farm Arena. So there was a lot on the line there. But, I think we heard on the radio the debate of, is this team better when Trae Young is out? Because there's been times where DJ's had to take over in very just like one-off game instances where Trae, I think he got sick and they traveled to somewhere. I can't remember where they traveled, but they ended up winning, and DJ had that second in a row game-winning shot. So people are begging the question. For me, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
2 games against less than or mediocre teams in the NBA right now. They play the Nets tonight, which is another mid-level team. Until they get 4 or 5 wins in a row and you get a big win over a team like the Celtics, then let's talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does put in perspective the long-term picture, right? I mean, I think they'll use this last, however long Trae is out. I don't know if he comes back this season. I think that might depend on where they're at in the standings at that point. But I think they'll use this time to kind of see where they're at and see what the team does without Trae Young, right? Because, I mean, we've all heard all of the trade speculation, where he could be heading in the offseason, teams who may be interested in Trae. So I think it'll be interesting to see what the team looks like in the games that he's out. Again, I think there's more things to go into it besides what takes place on the basketball court, especially in a market like Atlanta, where you need to have guys on a court who are marketable, who people want to come and see. I mean, Trae Young's a very popular player. I'm sure his jersey sale does very well across the league, especially in the Atlanta area. So I think that's just one of those things to consider before you think about getting rid of a guy like Trae Young, or even consider going down that road.
Do you think Trae buys into the city of Atlanta as much as he could as the superstar of their team?
I would say no, but I just think I think that's just his personality. I think he's just a laid-back dude. I think he just wants to play. He does have a podcast, right, where he's kind of out there a little bit. So I just think that's just his persona. Some guys have it in them to sort of promote things and promote their city, and some guys don't. So, I mean, I don't know if he would do that anymore if he was in L.A. or someplace different, or Oklahoma City. I don't know, But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that situation goes. Before we get out of here, Bailey, what's on your mind?
Yeah, the U.S. women's national team lost to Mexico, which was a big blow because that's a team they're used to dominating, and to not is not great for the U.S., and it's a telling sign of maybe what could come and any upcoming games and World Cup. So that was just not a great loss for the U.S. women's national team.
Gotcha. Well, I don't have much on my mind except for we'll be back here tomorrow for some sports tonight, right?
Oh, that's a cop-out, but okay.
That's a cop-out. I don't really. We don't even have
Friday
much time.
edition of Sports Tonight.
I'm teasing ahead to tomorrow, right? And then
there you go.
Teasing ahead to tomorrow. Well, Bailey, it's been great on this Thursday here for Sports Tonight. Be sure to come back here tomorrow for more Sports Tonight. Everybody, have a good Thursday.